Alright, so I have another video about how to enroll in a class, which for 99% of you will be useful. I want you to try that first because most likely you did actually make an account for this during freshman orientation. The only way you would need this video is if you, by some miracle, did not do that, or if you are a transfer student, so obviously then you wouldn't have been at freshman orientation. So what you do to make sure you don't have a previous account is you go into login, you try your first name dot last name email address. Mine would be bill.greeby@salesianum.org if I were a student, and then you type in what your password might have been, and you see if it lets you in. If that doesn't work, click reset password, type in that same email address, forgot the dot, at salesianum.org, and type in your last name, and what it'll probably do is send you instructions on how to reset your password, because again, in all likelihood, you do already have an account. However, if this doesn't work, if it says, no, we don't recognize that email address, or again, if you are transferring in from another school and you're certain you don't have an account, you click Create Account. Interestingly, TurnItIn is so convinced that people do in fact have accounts, because this problem of students using multiple accounts is so common, that it's going to try to force you to log in. You can see my computer has auto-filled my name and password here. You're actually not going to use that. Scroll down to this Create a New Account part right here, and you'll click Student. Okay? Class ID and class enrollment password is the first thing. These are specific to each course you take. Okay? So these will be 8 or 9-digit numbers that your teacher will have to give you. And they'll be usually contained in an on-campus assignment or on your syllabus or written on the board or something like that. So, let's just make one up hypothetically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Again, that obviously will not be it. Your class enrollment password will also be something your teacher has to give you. So in my case, I always use Bible as the password just because it's easier for people to remember. I teach a scripture class, etc. The rest of the information you're going to know. So again, let's continue. Let's come up with a fake student name. How about Jimmy Smith? Right? I'm sorry if that's your actual name when you're watching this, but such is life. Jimmy would use Jimmy Smith at salesianum.org. He'd type it again. Okay, and then Jimmy would choose his password. So once you've done this, and again, make very sure you're using this email address. Gmail, Hotmail, AOL, any of that stuff, even your iCloud accounts, don't use those. Simply because it's really hard for us to find out who you are, and it's just not good form for teachers and students to use personal email addresses anyway. Also, don't use the Sally's email address with all the numbers if you happen to know it, simply because that, again, will accidentally encourage you to make 2 accounts, and we really, really don't want that. We have a limit to how many students can enroll, and 2 accounts for any one student means somebody else gets 0. All right, so let's have Jimmy pick his password, it's a scramble of letters. Have him do the same thing, right? All right, let me not make something up so you can see how this works. All right. Then you pick a security question. What is your first phone number? I'm going to put 302-867-5309 because, I like that song. Don't actually do that. Put a real answer that you're going to remember so that if you do have to reset your password, you'll be able to get into it. And then you sort of look through all of this junk right here. I don't really care what that says. And you click I agree, create profile. I'm not going to be able to do this right now simply because this is all fake information. But if you do this, you'll actually have an account and you'll be fully enrolled. And just a moment, I'll actually show you which page this would take you to. I have an instructor page, obviously. Students won't. This is the page that'll take you to when you finally sign up, right? You'll see your course listed here. You'll see the instructor's name right here, the teacher's name right there. And then, of course, we'll go over how to actually use this when the time comes. But if you're enrolled and you see this, then you're all set.